What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm going to talk about this evening's Rose Bowl. You had the number 6 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes beating the number 9 ranked Washington Huskies 28-23 in what was Urban Meyer's last game as the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes. First off, you had Dwayne Haskins hitting Campbell for a touchdown pass to give Ohio State a 7-0 lead. Then you had Washington getting a field goal to cut the lead to 7-3. Then you had Dwayne Haskins hitting Dixon on a touchdown pass to give Ohio State a 14-3 lead. Then you had Dwayne Haskins hitting Barry on a touchdown pass to give them a 21-3 lead. Then you had Dobbins rushing in for like a 2-yard touchdown to give Ohio State a 28-3 lead. Then Washington came on a little comeback, man. You had Gaskins throwing a jump pass to Sample to cut the Ohio State lead to 28-10. Then you had Gaskins on a little pitch play by Browning getting in the end zone to cut the lead to 28-17. And then you had Gaskins getting another touchdown on a little play when he was going out of bounds and he stretched it over the pylon to cut it to 28-23. Browning's pass on the 2-point conversion was intercepted by Ohio State. Ohio State recovered the onside kick, and there you have it. Final score, Ohio State 28, Washington 23. Ohio State, man, I think this is going to be a season of what-ifs. That loss to Purdue earlier this year was very, very ugly and very unfortunate for them, man, because I sincerely believe Ohio State is one of the 4 best teams in the country. I really think that Ohio State and Georgia both deserve to be in the well, I ain't gonna say they deserve, but they're both better teams than Notre Dame and Oklahoma. An Ohio State-Alabama matchup would have been really, really fun to see, as well as a Clemson-Georgia matchup. But that loss to Purdue it was a terrible loss. And I mean, the committee couldn't overlook that. Yes, the Michigan win was great, but that Purdue loss was just so bad that they couldn't put them in there over Oklahoma, And it's unfortunate because Ohio State is a team that could have given Alabama a much better game than Oklahoma did. But here they are, though. They settled, and Rose Bowl champs ain't nothing bad. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. It ain't nothing bad to settle for. Dwayne Haskins, who Mel Kiper has him as his number 1 rated quarterback on the big board, had another good day. He's tall, he's strong, he has a big arm, he's accurate for the most part. He looks like a prototypical quarterback. And early on, he was carving up Washington pretty good. They kind of took their foot off the gas late in the second half and kind of got a little stagnant offensively once the second half rolled around. But for the most part, man, he looked it pretty good out there. And I mean, the talent that Ohio State has talent for days, man. And honestly, it looked like this game was going to be way worse than what it ended up being. They only win by 5, but at some point it looked like they was going to win probably 56-3. They were that much more talented than Washington today. That it's unfortunate. You watch this game and it's like, man, this team should have been in the college football playoffs because they are that talented. And as far as Urban Meyer, this is his last game with Ohio State. He had a good run over there. His first year, they went undefeated, but they was ineligible from all the Jim Tressel, Terrell Pryor tattoo fiasco to where they couldn't play for a big-time game. Of course, what Urban is going to be most remembered for is the 2014, I want to say, national championship team, when he had star players such as Cardale Jones, 12 gauge, Ezekiel Elliott, Michael Thomas, Joey Bosa, just to name a few of the players they had over there. It was the Devin Smith, I want to say the long threat guy, the deep threat guy that ended up getting drafted by the New York Jets. That they had talent, man. That team was loaded, and that team went on down to New Orleans, and they beat Alabama pretty good, man. It's been a while since a team outside of the SEC was able to beat a Nick Saban team, not by just beating them with trickery and all kind of stuff, but to really have more speed than they had that day and to be just as physical as they were that day. That Ohio State team was loaded, and that's the team that Urban Meyer is going to be remembered for the most, down the line. When you look 10, 15 years from now, people going to remember that Ohio State Buckeye team. Urban Meyer, he's a great coach, man. What can I say? He did it at Bowling Green. He did it at Utah. He did it at Florida. And he did it at Ohio State. Now, is this the official end for him? We'll see. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But he has a really good coaching career, man. And I think that he's going to go down as one of the best college coaches. It's just that his resume gets a little overshadowed because you got such a dominant coach like Nick Saban and all the championships and the accolades that he has. But Urban Meyer has a career that's nothing to sneeze at. 3 national championships, 2 at Florida, 1 at Ohio State. He's been a gold standard in college football. Basically, arguably the second best coach in this era right behind Nick Saban. So shout out to Urban Meyer going out a winner, being a Rose Bowl champ. I know he's going to think back and be like, dang, this team could have competed for a championship, but they had that unfortunate Purdue loss. But shout out to them, Rose Bowl champs. That's nothing to sneeze at. And as far as the Washington Huskies, man, it's just shout out to them for fighting back the way they did. Jake Brown, it seemed like he'd been there forever. Just like boy for Clemson, that receiver for Clemson, it looked like Brown had been there forever also. But he had a great career for the Washington Huskies, man. Shout out to him. Had a playoff appearance a couple of years ago against Alabama, a Rose Bowl appearance this season. Shout out to him for a great career. They got a really good running back in Gaskins. Some really good players over there. But the Pac-12 was just very weak this year. And that's basically just a testament of how weak the Pac-12 was this year. They fought hard, they fought back, got back into the game. But honestly, when you look at it, skill player for skill player, lineman for lineman, they didn't really belong on the same field as Ohio State. They didn't have the talent level that Ohio State has. So the Pac-12 just was a down year for them, man. Oregon looked like they was going to do something early on. They faded away. Stanford looked like they was going to have something popping. They didn't really have the season. With Bryce Love, they didn't have the season that most people thought they would have. Most people thought Washington would be a really good team and thought they would win the Pac-12 and be in, if not the college football playoff, the Rose Bowl game. But it wasn't a great season for them. It wasn't a terrible season, but it wasn't a great season. They just been a testament of a Pac-12 that just was down this year. You had, Arizona State who done better this year. People had expectations for Arizona with their quarterback coming back, and they wasn't very good at all. It's just been a very down year for the Pac-12. And Washington was able to win that conference, and by that, they was able to get in the Rose Bowl. Like I said, when people who didn't really watch the game gonna see the final score, they're gonna be like, oh, all right, that was a really good, entertaining football game. Washington really gave Ohio State all they could handle. But nah, man, like Ohio State really should have won this game by much more than they did. But like I said, shout out to Washington for competing hard, for making the score respectable at the end, and for Jake Brown, who it seems like been there for 10 years, to have a really solid career and ended off with a Pac-12 champion, another Pac-12 championship and a Rose Bowl appearance. Shout out to them. But one more time, man, shout out to Urban Meyer on a great coaching career. We'll see if he end up coaching again or if this really it for real. But shout out to him for a great coaching career, man. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go and give me a subscribe. I'm going to have NCAA football content throughout the season. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.